Mario Singh, co-founder and CEO at FX1 Academy, joins us now from Singapore. Mario, thanks very much for coming in. So we've got the jobs report later on today. We are expecting a big number, a big number in terms of job creation, but a lot of that is going to be due to the census. So are you going to be looking at the private sector jobs, and what numbers are you looking for?
Hi, Anna. Yes, you're quite spot on that while the whole world really is looking at big numbers coming out tonight, we see some of the major institutions actually, they're trying to say it's about 600,000. I'm looking at it about 500,000, but with the hiring of the census, all the temporary workers that the government has hired, I'm also looking at the private hiring. I think that's going to come in about 170,000. So while it's going to be a big number, everyone is watching for tonight. That's why you're seeing in the financial markets, everything is a little bit subdued. So it's for the big report at 8:30, everyone is watching for that, including myself.
Okay, we've got some numbers coming in, estimates as high as 536,000 new jobs created. What will that do to the dollar?
At this point, I want to bring a little bit of the Japanese yen because of the resignation of the PM. We see a little bit of the decoupling of the yen that's coming. So I will see the US dollar actually heading upwards if there's going to be a big number tonight. I'm seeing it crossing over the 93 level for the dollar yen.
What do you think more broadly then, looking maybe a little further out, what do you think will happen to the yen as a result of the appointment of Mr. Khan? Because, of course, he's been quite outspoken on his will to have a yen that promotes the export business in Japan.
I think that comes with a huge sigh of relief, really, with all the big manufacturers that's happening in Japan. Especially talking about big exporters like Sony, like Canon, like Toyota. So they are also in favor of a weaker yen, and he's really a dove in terms of the financial market. So he doesn't pull any punches when he says that he is in favor of a weaker yen. So that coupled with the jobs data that's going to be coming out tonight, I'm expecting the dollar yen to actually shoot above, and over the long term, while he has a lot of things on his hands, I'm talking about Mr. Khan, his whole economy is mired in deflation. You see 200% budget to the deficit ratio to the GDP. So he's got a lot of things on his plate. But at this point, what is critical for traders to notice is that there's going to be a decoupling of the safe haven flows to the yen. So at this point, it's going to be a sweet spot for the US dollar. It's trading on good fundamentals and also for safe haven status. I see the US dollar strengthening for the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Dollar seems like the only game in town lately, doesn't it? And especially when you've got the bond yields in Greece, Spain, and Portugal. They are really taking off. Where do you think we are in this euro crisis, Mario? Have we seen the worst of it? Is that behind us, or is the fun just really beginning?
Well, I think the fun is just really beginning if you're going to be talking about that. You see the money market rates, you see LIBOR rates going up, you see the credit default swaps going up. So it's really going to be a repeat of the Lehman era. I'm seeing many institutions in Europe, at least, they do not have the capability or they don't have the confidence to start lending. I saw a report recently of how the ECB is having the deposits of about $400 billion from the European banks. So none of them are really interested to lend one another. I see a whole wave of fear and panic coming again in the European saga.
And you think it's going to be on the same scale as the collapse of Lehman?
I'm not so sure whether it's going to see at the same scale, but really at this point, what is happening is the fear and the panic that is coming over in the European markets. I do see it creeping up towards the Lehman era, yes.
And the collapse of liquidity. Thank you so much for joining us today. Great to have you on the show. That was Mario Singh, the co-founder and CEO at FX1 Academy.